Hey everyone, how you doing? How's the weather? Seems I start a lot of my blogs with the weather. You want to say how the weather is where you are, and you don't mind saying like what state or country you're in? Just wondering how it is. I was watching a blog and someone said their weather is I think 67. I thought, how nice. Ours has been 88. I'd rather have their weather. But anyhow, I had once talked about a movie. I've been watching movies on YouTube. They have free movies. They're I don't know if I can say what brand or whatever. Actually, you can see movies that are, I think I can say it, I don't know, like Paramount. They have movies. No, it's not Paramount. Maybe it is. It's where in the beginning there's a lion that roars, and then they have their logo or whatever. I don't know. Then there's there's some like the kind that you'd see at a theater. Then there's I don't remember. So it's not here or there. If you like what you hear, I could probably look it up what I watch. But there was this movie oh, it was such, the saying, the twisted weave we weave, the twisted web we weave. I don't know. Something, does anyone know? If you do, comment below. I'm the type of person like something like this. I'm going to think and think till I remember it. So if I don't, if you know it, please write it down. But anyhow, so this movie was, these are kind of more, I don't know, it says like this year, but it's more the way people lived long ago, like families. I remember when I went to high school, where we lived, there was a family that moved in, and they were from another country, and they all lived together, like the mother, the father, then they had 2 daughters, I believe, and then if the daughters got married, they all lived together. And I think that's how it was long ago. It takes a village, right? So this movie had I'm sorry I don't know the title. Like I say, if someone's interested, because I don't think I got to the end, or I don't remember the ending. But anyhow, so it was a mother and a father. The father was a surgeon, and it was in a, like back in the day. I remember my mom telling me stories of back when she grew up, that if you like needed surgery or you needed to get in earlier to the doctor, you would like bake something and bring it to them, and you could get in earlier. I don't think there was money, like you gave money. I don't remember that part, but I just remember her saying you would bake, something extravagant, and you could get in. So anyhow, the guy was a surgeon, and the wife was a doctor's wife, so she, stayed home. Usually doctors' wives do like volunteer work. I think she did some, yeah. And they had 2 daughters. And one of the daughters was married. And they had a son who was, I don't know, maybe I'd say about 5. And that one daughter, the older daughter, her husband was very intelligent. He was a scientist / researcher. And they talked about he was like the father's age. He wasn't that old, but he was older than her. I'd say maybe 20 years older than her. And he was kind of what people would call like nerdy kind of guy. And she was totally the opposite. But opposites attract, right? And then there was a younger sister, and she lived there. And she was going to, I guess what would be like pre-med. She was going to be a doctor, probably a surgeon like her dad. So she was going to school, and this doctor was really good. Everyone wanted him, this surgeon. So, he went to work and worked hard and worked late. And usually these movies, when the man is working late, this one group of movies, whatever, I can't remember what it's under, there's a lot of cheating going on. So anyhow, this movie was really full of a lot of, but it's the twists and turns, so that's why it was interesting. I am totally against cheating. I think it's horrible. So I'm not promoting it, but I'm just, it's part of the movie. So anyhow, there was no cheating. He just really worked hard and followed through and whatever. And, the wife was just at home, cooking. When he came home, he had dinner, the wife with her husband, and the grandson. She spent a lot of time with the grandson because the older daughter's husband, the scientist, worked, and she, what did she do? I don't remember. I guess she worked somewhere. That escapes me. But at the beginning, I thought the little kid was their kid. The wife looks young, and the wife was a bit younger than the husband. It seemed like, I don't know, about 10 years. I'm not sure. But, so when she would say she's going to wake up the little boy, I thought it was their boy, but it turned out it was her grandson. And then we got the girl who's studying to be a doctor. So one day the older sister said to the younger sister, remember, and I don't remember, they have foreign names, so I could never remember what they were. She says, remember so-and-so when we went to school, like younger, probably grammar school or high school, I don't know. She says, oh yeah, and when she said the name, oh yeah, so the younger sister was like crushing on him. I don't know if that's a phrase anymore. I don't even know what the phrases were when I went to school. Like them? I don't know, but anyhow, I've heard of the phrase crushing. It wasn't in the movie said, because this was like a movie, it seemed like from years ago, but it wasn't. I don't know, that part's hard to explain, doesn't matter. But anyhow, so she says, oh yeah, and she says, yeah, remember you were always just, she didn't use the word crushing, you liked him, I guess. She says, well, he's, I don't know, he's in town, moved to town, something like that, and found me and just wanted, just meet up, say hi. She says, I really don't want to go. Not in a way like, I don't want to go because I'm married, but, yeah, she was not interested in the guy, so it seems like the guy was interested in the older sister, the older sister wasn't interested in him, and the younger sister was interested in him. And I don't know, if you have, like, sisters, did that ever happen when you grew up? Like, a guy liked your older sister, and you were the younger sister, and you liked the guy, and your sister didn't like the guy? I don't know. Comment if you want. That'd be interesting to hear. Since I was an only child, I don't have stories like that to tell. So anyhow, the girl agreed to go, the younger girl, and she met him, and you could see the back of him. He turned around, and he had roses, I think, some kind of flowers. And then he's like, oh, whatever her name was, like I say, they're foreign names, I don't remember. Where is blah blah, the other name? Oh, she couldn't make it, so she sent me. And then he kind of looks at her, oh, these are for you. So he gives her the flowers, and then he says that his mother is very sick, and she needs surgery, and they finally got an appointment in with her father, the surgeon, but it's 6 months from now, and she's very sick, and he's afraid. You could tell he was a mama's boy, and very afraid it was be too late, whatever. And she right away says, no worries, I'll talk to my father. So, he was very happy about that. And so then when she went home, she said to her father, and he says, well, have him call, they'll make an appointment. She says, well, they actually have one, but 6 months from now, and she doesn't think, or the son doesn't think that she'd make it or whatever. He says, have her come in tomorrow or the next day at 7. So they got her in. No, he didn't have, blah, my mouth can work. He didn't have to bake anything or whatever. Just as a reference to what my mom told me stories. So anyhow, they got her in, and then the girl, the younger sister, started kind of seeing, I wouldn't say dating, seeing that guy. And then the older daughter, her husband and her didn't seem to have, their marriage was kind of going sour or whatever. So they were out to dinner. I think it was their anniversary, and there was a band playing, and the guy in the band said, I'm dedicating this song to old love I had. Well, it happened to be the older daughter. It's not the guy that I told you about. I told a different guy. So then she left when she heard it, because obviously she knew it was their song. She went in the hallway, somewhere in a hallway, and then the guy finished the song, and he was there, and then the husband was very attentive to her. He was very in love with his wife, but apparently she wasn't. She apparently had a roaming eye. So he walks in and says, what's going on here? I wish I could do the accent they talk in. make it more exciting. But anyhow, so long story short, someone punched someone, I don't remember who. And then, so the older sister decided to start playing in the band. I guess she played in the band with him when they were dating. And then they went off to another country to do a tour. And then during this time, the doctor's wife had a friend who was a nurse and, worked in the hospital where the doctor did. And she says, I feel something's going on. She says, can you keep an eye out? And I guess her friend knew, but didn't want to tell her, didn't want to hurt her, didn't know what to do. This is in life, if you see something, I don't know, you're not sure, it's a tangled web. But anyhow, so he had this patient, and he was very sick, and he did surgery, and they thought he'd be okay. And then she seemed really young, like younger than his youngest daughter, the wife. And so, but he was, at that point, you just saw him as a doctor, not like nowadays, back in the day, who, really cared. And like, he said, why don't we take a walk? I mean, that doesn't happen. Can you imagine? Your spouse has surgery, and he's not doing good, and the surgeon says, oh, let's take a walk. You're lucky if you get 2 seconds with a surgeon, right? So they took a walk, and nothing, you didn't think anything suspicious or anything. And then the wife was going to go, I think, out of town with her friend or something. And they had, like, I don't know, they lived in one house, and I think they were remodeling another. They actually lived in an apartment. It's like a communal living thing in that country, but they were building or redecorating or something. So anyhow, she went to stop over at their other place, and she sees clothes on the floor. So needless to say, you can imagine what she found. And she literally was like leaned against the wall and couldn't believe what she was seeing, because she never suspected her husband would cheat on her. They had a good relationship and all. So she went home. In the interim, like I said, the younger daughter started dating the guy, and then she came up pregnant, and she moved in with the guy and his mother, and everything seemed to be going good. And then the mother came home, and her daughter had gone off to Germany, the older daughter, with the ex-boyfriend. And then her husband was there, and so she just broke down crying, and he said, what's the matter? He was a real kind guy. And so she just said, what happened and all. And so they drank tea. These people always drank tea. And a lot of time would do like a cup of tea. So anyhow, they kind of just were talking and whatever. And then they didn't hear from the daughter. Every once in a while she'd call to talk to her son, the little 5-year-old. So the guy was working, and the grandma was taking care of the boy, and the other one was over with the guy and the mother. And the mother got better, the original one who had the surgery. She got better, and she couldn't wait for her grandchild and all. And then, of course, the youngest daughter's guy, I don't think they were married, she found out they were cheating, and of course the mother defended the son. She called her mother. She actually lied. She told the family, the other mother, that her parents kicked her out wasn't true, because she wanted to move in with him, like push herself on him. I don't think he was really for that idea, but it happened, and I think he was just cheating behind her back during the whole thing. But they didn't show us that. They didn't make us think that. If you watch soap operas, you know how they put thoughts in your head to make you think, is this happening? So then the younger daughter is not happy, but she didn't call yet. I don't know if I already told you what happened, but I'm trying to get it straight. I should have had a little playlist here. But anyhow, so the oldest daughter is out with, the guy, in the band playing, and they offered her a gig in this country, and he got very jealous and started drinking. They drink a lot on this show too. They get drunk. They drown their sorrows. So then she says, who are you? You're not the person I knew. Or I guess toward the end of their relationship, he started drinking and whatever. So she said she's leaving, and then she went down. I guess they had some more music to play, and she went to the front desk of the hotel and said, where are my bandmates? And he said they left this morning and left her. So then she was going to be on her way home. So in the interim, the mother with her, the oldest daughter's son, were, together, like, kind of raising the kid, and, they'd take him to the park and walk together. Well, what was happening is the oldest daughter's son was falling in love with the mother, and he told her, and she just, like, looked at him, no, this can't happen, you're ridiculous, this is preposterous, no, whatever word, that was not the word, but anyhow, no, because she's a faithful wife, he's married to her daughter, and so on and so forth. So then one day they were walking, and what does she see? Her husband is calling her, and she sees her husband, and the way he was standing, she couldn't see, and so he calls her, and he says he has to work late, which wasn't unusual, and all of a sudden, then she sees he's hugging, which would be the woman whose husband, I guess, he had died. So, no, she was alone. She wasn't walking with that guy. She was alone. Oh, yeah, she always picked her husband up. She walked to the hospital, and they walked home together, and she was going to pick him up in the car. I think it was winter. So then she gets in the car, so she's watching this all play out. He's saying he's got to work late. He's hugging this woman. So then she beeps her horn. He sees her. Well, you would think if he was interested in the marriage, he would run to the car. No, he just went on with the other woman. And so then again, she went back, and that's the point where she told him about the cheating. I guess she told him she suspected at this point. She told the husband of her daughter. So then her daughter came back that night, the next day, whatever, and they were just sitting there. And her husband, who was older than her, maybe she was like the mom's age, I don't know. And then he said, I have to tell you something. And nothing went on between the mother and her son-in-law. But in his head, things must have been going on. And he says, I am in love with your mother. And she's like, oh, this is ridiculous. Don't listen to such nonsense. And da-da-da. And she says, oh, great. But they had an accent. I wish I could talk in the accent. It just made it more interesting. She says, how could you do this to me? You're my mother. And da-da-da. And she says, nothing happened. It's in his mind. This is all in his mind. He's all mixed up. You're gone. You went off with your boyfriend, and, he's lonely, and nothing happened. I'm just taking care of your son, and, like holding down the fort and all. And then the daughter had known about the father cheating, and she says, no wonder he cheated on you, because you're cheating with my husband. And it just got, I know if you're listening, you're probably saying, wow, everyone's cheating. I don't know, just watching the movie, it just went, when it came together, it's like, if you're, like I used to crochet, you crochet and you see your thing come together. It just was, I'm totally against cheating, like I say, but this movie just was like kind of comical. It wasn't a comical movie, but when you thought about it. So then the daughter came home. She found out the boyfriend, the younger one, was cheating. So then it wasn't then the story, but then the mother and both daughters were all good, and they said, they'll help with raising the baby when she has it. And I don't think I watched the end, because I don't know what happened with her and her husband. Oh no, that's right. So they were all back. The husband of the older daughter went off. She always wanted him to get a job in the States, and he had not told her he had offers. She couldn't understand, he's so brilliant. So he did get an offer, and while she was gone, whatever the word would be, Paulie said I should do a video about words from back in my day, because he thinks they're funny. I should put a list of words that were, like cringy now is a word, those kind of words. But anyhow, so the guy went off. No, he was going to go off to the States, but he told his wife, if you want to make this work, to stay. So they got over the thing, and she realized, nothing happened between them. And I think at that point in the movie, that was the end of what happened with them. So like I said, I didn't see the end of the movie. Then she got a call, the mother, that the husband was in a very bad car accident, and I'm pretty sure he was in the car with her. And of course she lived, so the girlfriend, so she went to the husband and said, you have to live, you have to be strong for your children. And he opened his eyes, and then for me and all. And then she said, well, I'm going to leave, I don't want to be in her way. And he said, oh, don't worry. She took her bags and said she doesn't want to take care of an old crippled up guy. So I don't know much about cheating, but it kind of sounds right to me, right? Younger girl, brilliant rich surgeon, and then something happens and she doesn't want him. I don't know. But then I didn't finish the movie, so that's where it was. But I just thought it was like I said, cheating's wrong, but it's interesting how everything got all messed up wrong. The guy in his head, well, not in his head, he was in love with her, but in his head, he I guess was having an emotional affair. He was talking to her, she was talking innocently, but in his head it was more. And then the daughter goes off with the ex-boyfriend, but ends up back home, and then the younger daughter gets the guy she wanted, but then he turns out to cheat, and then they're together, but I don't know what happened at the end. So anyhow, I don't know if you liked it or not, because I probably didn't tell it very good, but I just thought it was very interesting. It's from the same country. I don't really want to say the name of the country. But these movies are just very interesting how other, nationalities live. So I've been watching those, and I think, well, I don't know. I don't know if the oldest daughter ended up back with her husband, or if the wife ended up back with her husband, and what happened to the girl. And there are parts to this movie. Some of these movies have, like, they say part 1, part 2, part 3. So maybe that was the end of the first part, and it went on and I didn't see it. But I kind of think this had a one part, or like it had 2 parts in the one show, but I didn't see the ending, so I don't know. But anyhow, that's just one of the movies I watch. You may think it's boring, but I don't have any streaming channels. We don't have cable, so I don't want to say stuck. I really enjoy these movies, and the other group of movies always has a happy ending, and then the other ones, like I say, were movies that were in the theater, and some of them are here, and a lot of them I see. I watched General Hospital. I was shocked that people I knew, actually it was a soap opera, One Life to Live, it's no longer on. One of the stars from there, and she still looked the same, was on one of these newer movies, not one that was on TV, newer. So there's a set like older movies, I don't know if they're called B movies, and I don't know if that's something bad, then that's not what it was, but like movies that didn't make it to the big screen and the ones that made it. But yeah, that's what I do when I'm in my spare time. Not that I have a lot, but I watch movies. Do you guys watch any YouTube movies? Or do you have streaming channels? Is there anything you watch? I so want to watch 50 Shades of Grey. I had gone to the theater with a friend long ago, and like I say, at Christmas I used to get gift cards from my family, and I had a movie gift card, and then I went. I don't even remember the day when I would go to a movie without having a child with me, but apparently I did. And I saw the first one. It's a trilogy. So I saw it on, I think I had a 99-cent a month kind of a streaming channel. And I did it because it said it had 50 Shades of Grey and this other movie that was advertised. So I thought for 99 cents a month you could cancel at any time. This is a while ago. So I did it, and of course, I think you had to keep it for 3 months at least. So I go to the 50 Shades of Grey, and it just showed a preview, and it says you either have to rent or buy. It's like, great. So there were some movies on there, but it was kind of a letdown. I mean, 99 cents is a lot to me now. Back then, things were different in my financial world, but still, it was a bummer. So there's nowhere you can watch it. And I had the books, but those, I don't know if my daughter took them or something. They're nowhere, so I can't even finish reading them. But if anyone knows where you can watch 50 Shades of Grey, the second and the third one, and maybe you don't watch it or you're not interested in that, I just found it interesting. I know there's a lot of stuff I wouldn't repeat on here that happens there, but it's just interesting, the kind of the plot. But if you know where you can watch it for free, let me know. So anyhow, do you watch any kind of movies? Are you into like reality shows, or what shows do you like? Do you watch soap operas? Do you watch General Hospital? We could talk about General Hospital if you like it. Well, let me know. This is a bit longer because, I was telling a story about a movie, and I don't know if you'll be interested or not. But be sure to check out my shorts. Like I said, this is something new. I've been doing short videos. They're fun to do, and like I say, it's been good for me to get my mind off, everything that's going on in our lives right now. So, let me know, what are you into, or what kind of movies do you like? Comedy, romance, let me know what you like. So for now, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when videos go up. Watch some of my shorts. You just go under shorts. I don't know, I do everything on my phone, so I just go under my name and my picture, hit on it, and then it says shorts. But I don't know how it comes up for you. I think it would come up just under all my videos, I think. But make sure you watch them, give it a like, just say hi or comment on it, The shorts are really short, but they're interesting. I find it interesting of what people, where I have over 1,000 views, it would be something I wouldn't think would do it, and something that I thought was beautiful doesn't get that many views. I don't know. It's just interesting. I like psychology, so it's kind of interesting on that aspect. But be sure to share our channel, and when you hit the like and put a comment, it helps the algorithm. I'm sure you're tired of me saying that, but it does, and then it puts up our movies higher. Our movies, yeah, movie. I wish we could make a movie. Our videos higher, then more people get to see it. Be kind to people. You don't know what they're going through. Be the reason someone smiles and you made it this far. Thanks, and I hope you did, because I hope you share with me what kind of movies you like, or TV shows, or what do you watch, or don't you watch it at all, or stuff like that. So, because I like to get to know you guys, so let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye.